Hi there guys. Topic to discuss in this video are other current liabilities. Okay. First topic is unearned revenues. First year pa lang kayo, we are already discussing this. So I'm sure lahat ng nasa bullet dito, familiar na kayo dito. Okay, so ano ba tong unearned revenues? Of course, these are amounts collected in advance, no? Advance collection from the customer, whereas no service has been rendered yet or no performance of the obligations yet. So, if that is the case, ang ginagawa natin, liability muna, hindi pa siya revenue. Okay? Yung unearned revenue, that's actually a general term, as I always say, ano. Ngayon, may mga examples dito na pwede siyang, na ginagamit yung unearned revenues. It could be subscription, royalties sa tickets, gift certificates, and service contracts. So, basically, yung ginagamit natin nung first year kayo, ano lagi yun, mga service contracts yun, ano, under service o kaya ay yung sa merchandising, yung mga pagbili ng goods. Okay. If you can remember IFRS 15, these are revenue from contracts, no? Revenue from customers. So ito pa rin 'yon. Ito yung ginagamit natin sa chapter 1 sa current liabilities. Kumbaga, yung rules na ina-apply natin na hangga't wala pang performance of the obligation or the service has not been rendered yet, wala munang revenue, liability muna. Ano? So yun yung gustong sabihin dito sa IFRS 15. Ayan. So, andyan sa last na bullet, yung entry, cash or unearned revenue. So, meron ka nang na-collect na cash, pero wala ka pang performance ng obligation or wala pang delivery of delivery of goods. Ayan, something like that. Ayan. Ito sa first bullet, ano na to, no? Ito yung mga common example ng whereas yung revenue tsaka unearned revenue, meron silang specific account title, depende na sa transaction. So dito, subscription, dito naman service contracts. Pero nung first year kayo, ang lagi lang ginagamit natin, di ba, normally service revenue and then unearned service revenue, mga ganun. And then second bullet, once the service has been rendered or the obligations has been performed, automatically, no, we have to recognize the revenue by debiting the liability and crediting the related revenue. Ayan, ganun lang. Ayan, so tapos na kagad, ano. Wala na siyang example kasi ano lang to, kumbaga, to include the topic dito sa chapter 1, it has to be discussed. Pero it has been discussed already since from the start pa lang nung ng basic accounting. Kaya wala na siyang masyadong example. Okay, we proceed to dividends payable. Okay, time check pala muna. Okay. We proceed to dividends payable. Ano ba yung dividend muna? Of course, dividend is a distribution of a corporate income to its shareholders on a pro rata basis. Ano yung pro rata basis? For sure na-discuss na rin naman sa inyo nung first year yung corporation accounting. Yan. So, di ba, shareholders. Basically, ang corporation, napakadaming napakadaming shares or stocks niyan. So, yung pro rata basis, halimbawa, merong 1 million shares yung corporation. And then, ikaw as a shareholder, meron kang hawak na, let's say, 10,000 na lang. So, let's say, kumita ng 5 million yung corporation after a year. So, pro rata basis means yung hold mo na 10,000, it is to be divided on the total shares of the corporation, which is 1 million. So, that is 10,000 divided by 1 million multiplied by the net income of 5 million. So, ganun lang. Ganun lang yung pro rata basis na sinasabi. Pro rata or, ano ang other term dyan? Proportion. Pro rata, prorated. Ayun, mga ganun. Okay. Dividends are distributed out of accumulated earnings. So, ito lang, kasi yung accumulated earning or yung net income ng corporation, depende kasi yan sa management, kung meron bang paggagamitan. Halimbawa, yung kinita na 5 million, ilalagay siya sa plant expansion. So, kapag ganun, kapag sinabi ng management na yung buong kinita ay ilalagay sa ganong expansion, so ibig sabihin walang pre-income or walang pre-earning. So kung walang pre-income, walang i-distribute na dividend. Pero normally naman, ano lang naman 'yun. Hindi naman nila yung ginagawa na lahat ng income ilalagay sa plant sa expansion. Kasi if that's the case, 'di ba? Normally kaya ka nga shareholder kasi after a year, nag-expect ka na kumita yung corporation, and then dun sa kinita nila may share ka dun. So ganun So yung dividends, it may take many forms. It could be in the form of cash, non-cash assets, or tinatawag na property dividends. Then you also have scrip or liability dividends. And then you also have we also have share dividends. Ayan. So yan yung mga forms ng dividends. Pero in this video or in this topic, naka-focus lang tayo sa cash dividend. Kumbaga itong mga to, it will be discussed thoroughly sa chapter 2, which is shareholders equity. So for this video, we will only focus on cash dividend. So yung cash dividend, it is the most common type of dividend. Ang sabi nga dito, when used without a qualifying adjective, the term dividend refers to cash dividend. Ibig sabihin, kapag dun sa problem na sinasagutan mo, ang binanggit lang ay dividend, ang assumption doon automatically, cash dividend ang pinag-uusapan. Okay? So, as defined here, yun na nga. Yung dividend is, kapag sinabing makaka-receive ka ng cash dividend, it is in the form of cash. Okay? So, third bullet, kailan ba siya nare-record tsaka nare-recognize yung dividends payable? Okay, you have to remember na sa dividends, merong tatlong importanteng dates, no? 3 important dates to consider. And then, una, yung declaration date. Pangalawa ay yung recording date. And then, pangatlo is yung distribution or payment date. So, kailan nare-recognize yung liability ng corporation? That is upon declaration. Okay? So, yung cash dividends kasi, ano lang yan, yung time difference ng declaration to record to payment, short period of time lang yun. Kaya, itong cash dividend, it is always a current liability. Okay? And then, meron dalawang bullet dito na mini-mention, though these are cash dividends, pero they are undeclared sa cumulative preference shares. Ano na to, no? As mentioned dito, hindi sila considered as a liability. Pero yung further discussion natin dito, pwede nating ituloy yan sa shareholders equity. Ang mahalaga dito sa dividends payable na dinidiscuss natin ngayon is kapag nag-declare ng dividend, sinabi sa problem, so you have to record and recognize a liability, no? Okay? Ganun lang kasimple. Okay, so tapos na kaagad, ano? Diretso na tayo sa deposits and advances. Ayan. Ano ba ito? Itong deposits tsaka advances, pag deposits, it is in the form of property. Kapag advances, it is in the form of cash. Ano? So, ibig sabihin, halimbawa tayo yung corporation or yung company, so meron tayong mga, it could be customers or it could be other parties related to us na halimbawa, ipapahawak lang muna sa yung property nila for a specific purpose. Pag advances naman, ay di normally, nag-a-advance payment na sila. So, marirecall mo diyan, di parang unearned revenue lang, Ganun yung dyan. Ganun yung konsepto. Okay? Sige, basahin natin. Ayan nga, cash or property, return, ayan. Yun kasing property, it may be returnable to the depositor. Edi kung returnable siya, edi para lang So, whatever the transaction or the purpose, iniwan muna sa'yo sa company yung property, and then, kukunin din after some time. Pag naman advances, edi normally, pwedeng advance payment sa products mo, o kaya naman sa'yo muna binigay pero ipaparimit naman sa'yo sa ibang sa third party. So mga ganong story. Example dito, if the deposit or advance result from the company's operating activities, the liability is normally reported as current. Of course, if yung involved na deposits and advances is sabihin nating part ng operating activities, bakit siya current? Magiging current daw. So bakit? Kasi nga operating siya, di ba? Pag sinabi nating operating or trade, ang assumption lagi natin doon, that is within the normal operating cycle, or that transaction will happen in 1 year or less. Kaya if that's the case, current liability yun. On the other hand, if the deposit is non-trade and expected to be refunded or paid after more than 1 year, ay di non-current siya. So, ibig sabihin dito sa deposits and advances, mahalaga na malaman mo kung under ba siya ng operating or non-operating or trade or non-trade siya para ma-identify mo kung siya ay current or non-current. But if the problem is silent, yung mga ganitong term, deposits and advances, these are current liabilities. Even itong dividends payable, tsaka itong unearned revenues, if the problem is silent, basta in-state lang niya itong mga to, automatic current liabilities. Okay, we are down to the last topic for this video, which is value-added taxes. I'm not sure if you have taken this already. I mean, if you have taken already business and transfer taxes, but this topic, value-added taxes, this is discussed. It should be discussed on that on that subject, no? So ano ba yung VAT or yung value-added tax? Basically, lahat ng binibili natin or even yung binebenta, mayroong meron yung VAT. So, syempre, kung small time ka, hindi mo ito masyadong kung small time yung business, like sari-sari store, or sa palengke, yung mga pwesto doon, hindi ito masyadong napapansin. Kumbaga, what we're talking about this are big companies. So, VAT must be collected, and VAT must be collected by the seller from the customer, no? So, si seller, siya yung nagko-collect, Tapos, once collected, it should be remitted to proper government authority, which is BIR. It should be BIR kasi VAT is a national tax, no? Kaya it is collected by the BIR. Ayan. Itong VAT, it is remitted on a monthly basis. So the fact that it is remitted on a monthly basis, ibig sabihin, this is really this is current. Current siya. Kasi for example, yung month ngayon is March. Ibig sabihin, yung VAT is to be remitted next month lang. Kaya if that's the case, current agad siya. Okay, next. Okay, dalawang bagay lang sa VAT. You should consider your point of view. Are you the seller or are you the buyer? Kasi magkaiba 'yan, O for example, the company is a seller. So kung seller siya, ito yung entries mo doon. Basically guys, kung tatanggalin mo tong output VAT, 'di ba? Typical lang 'to eh. Typical sale transaction. Cash sales kung cash transaction, AR sales kung credit transaction. So ngayon, sinasamahan lang natin ng output VAT. In reality guys, ito talaga yung entry. Kumbaga nung first year kayo, hindi natin sinasama yung mga VAT kasi ang objective lang natin is matuto kayo mag-entry. Pero the reality is ganito talaga yung recording ng transaction. Bale, yung may sales ka and then may corresponding output VAT. Now, lang naman to. Ang tatandaan mo lang dito, you have to know if the sale or if the amount in the transaction is VAT inclusive or VAT exclusive. So ano ibig sabihin nun? Kapag VAT inclusive, ibig sabihin doon sa amount na yun, nandun na yung VAT. Pag but exclusive, edi wala pa. So, ang next question, what if but inclusive siya? What if but exclusive? Ano na ang gagawin? Ayan. Example, bumili ka sa Pure Gold. Then, let's assume lahat ng binili mo, batable. Hindi. Sige, lahat yun batable. So, yung amount na makikita mo, yung final amount na makikita mo, yung babayaran mo, normally, yun ay but inclusive. Yeah, but inclusive yan. Yan yung nangyayari sa reality, no? Unless i-specify. Kaya, kung ganun yung situation, so, ang gagawin ni Pure Gold, yung sales niya, that is 100% na sales plus the 12% but. So, lumalabas itong sales na to, that is 112%. So, ngayon, paano mo malalaman yung ano? Mali pala ako. Yung 112%, ito yon, yung cash. Yun yung cash na binayad ng customer. Yun yung 112%. So, yung sales, so, ano pa to? So, let's just say lang na hindi mo pa nakikita dun sa resibo. So, yung sales, i-compute mo pa ito. So, paano mo siya i-compute yung sales? So, ang gagawin mo lang, dapat siya is maging 100%. So, kung yung cash is 112% kasi inclusive of VAT, you just have to divide it by 1.12. So, yung, let's just say, meron kang 112,000 dito, divided by 1.12, edi yung makukuha mo doon, yun yung para sa sales. How about the VAT? Edi pag nakuha mo na yung sa sales, i-multiply mo naman ngayon yung sales ng 12%. Yun naman yung magiging VAT. Ayun, so wala siyang numbers pero sana naintindihan nyo ano. Kasi nga, 'di ba, sa recording, sa journal entry, kailangan lagi balance yung debit at saka credit natin. So kung sa resibo, yung final amount, ito yon, yung nandito sa cash. Yung sales, so to compute that, you have to divide the final amount by 1.12. Ito na yon. And then yung 12%, edi i-multiply mo naman ito by 12%. Ito na yung VAT mo. Ngayon, kung sales siya, ang tawag natin doon, output VAT. Ano? Output VAT. Okay? On the other hand, if the point of view of the company is in a buyer or purchaser, buyer na lang, edi input VAT naman. So, same concept lang. So, dito, yung VAT mo naka-credit, yung dito naman pag sa purchase, naka-debit yung VAT mo. Then, yung cash mo, edi ganun pa rin. Opposite lang to guys. Okay, you might wonder bakit purchases / asset / expense. So, lahat ng transactions, may VAT talaga yan. So, yung purchases, if this is, halimbawa, bibili ka, merchandising to. So, asset, it could be property, it could be PPE. No? So, may VAT pa rin yun. Expense, edi expenses, may VAT pa rin yun. Okay? Yan, sana naintindihan ako. Ayan, so once lumipas na isang buwan, meron ka ng cumulative amount of output VAT tsaka input VAT. So, ang gagawin lang ng mga nasa accounting office, edi pagbabanggain yung output tsaka input VAT. At ito, so pakitandaan, normally, mas malaki lagi ang output VAT sa input VAT. Bakit? Siyempre, di ba, normally, mas malaki ang sales sa purchases. Kaya mas malaki ang output VAT sa input VAT. Kaya, normally, ang difference is laging nasa credit, which is the VAT payable. Yan. You might wonder lang ulit, bakit naka-debit na si output VAT, tapos si input VAT naka-credit, pero kanina, upon recording of sales and purchases, naka-credit si output VAT, naka-debit si input VAT. So, of course, i-remit na natin, binabangga na natin, kasi nga, sinaset up na natin, magkano ba yung liability? Okay? So, ayun. Difference of the two, then yung difference mo doon, you have VAT payable. Okay. So, kapag i-remit na, yung VAT payable sa BIR, edi you debit VAT payable, you credit cash. Yun, ganun lang. And then, what's this? Ayan, sabi natin kanina, normally, mas malaki ang output VAT sa input VAT. Pero, pwedeng mangyari na mas malaki ang input VAT sa output VAT. No, so, pwedeng mangyari yun. Kasi, alam niyo naman yung formula ng, ng cost of goods sold, di ba? Kumbaga, yung input VAT, kasi yung input VAT, magbe-base siya sa purchases eh. Yung purchases, isa lang yan sa mga items sa formula ng cost of goods sold. So, pwedeng lumiit, daw malaki yung purchases mo, pero kung mataas naman yung ending inventory mo, so, pwedeng lumiit, pa rin, no? I mean, sorry. Kung malaki ang purchases, ay di posibleng lumaki yung input bat. Ayan, ang hirap mag-discuss ng walang numbers. Ayan, so, for simplicity, it happens. It happens na mas malaki ang input bat sa output bat. Pero that is rare. Sobrang rare nun. Tsaka pag palaging mas malaki ang input bat versus output bat, magdududa na si BIR sa company. Kasi ibig sabihin, wala siyang babayaran si BIR. So, di ba? Ayaw ng BIR yun. Okay? So, ngayon, kung mas malaki ang input bat sa output bat, ano mangyayari? Ano yung consequence? Anong tao? Di ba? Tulad dito. Mas malaki ang output bat sa input bat, kaya may bat payable. So, what if baliktad? Mas malaki ang input bat, tapos mas maliit to. Eh di, ang tawag natin doon, hindi na bat payable, no? Hindi siya bat receivable, no? Hindi siya bat receivable. Normally, ang tawag doon is input tax credit. Okay? Input tax credit ang tawag doon. Yung input tax credit, that is an asset. Which is, parang mo lang siya. Ang purpose nun, okay, meron kang input tax credit, pero wala kang receivable sa BIR. Ibig sabihin nun, di ba, since monthly naman nagre-remit ng bat payable, ay di, baka next month, mas malaki na yung output bat sa input bat, so magkakaroon ka na ng payable sa BIR, ay di, i-credit na lang. I-credit na lang. Kaya siya input tax credit. Kumbaga, papaliitin nung input tax credit mo yung bat payable mo sa BIR. So, yun yung doon. Ganun yung accounting treatment doon. Never mangyayari na si BIR magkakaroon ng payable sa corporation, na magkakaroon ng bat receivable ang corporation sa BIR. It never happens. Okay. Okay, last topic to discuss in this video pala. Akala ko last na yung kanina. Payroll taxes. Ayun, time check lang tayo. 22 minutes na. So, hindi ako nakapag-stick sa 15 minutes. Anyway, tapusin na natin. Just 4 slides na lang naman. Okay, payroll taxes. Yung mga employer, syempre, they are required by law to withhold from the salary of the employee amounts na tinatawag na statutory contribution. So yung mga statutory contributions, ito yung tax, ito yung SSS kapag nasa private company, GSIS pag nasa government, and then PhilHealth tapos pag-ibig, no. Yung apat na yan, ang tawag diyan statutory contributions. So that is required by law na mag-deduct yung employer sa sweldo ng employee. Okay? There are also other deductions being deducted in the salary, from the salary of the employee. Pero hindi na sila considered statutory contributions. Ano na lang sila? Depende na sa sitwasyon. It could be insurance, it could be union dues, and other payable sa third parties. Pero pag sinabi nating statutory contributions, yung mga nasa taas lang. Ito lang. Okay. These amounts that are withheld from employees, ayan, they are current liabilities. Liabilities sila, at ganoon din, nare-remit din sa mga appropriate third parties. So, yung pagre-remit nito, monthly din. Kasi, kumbaga, diba, mga employees, may sweldo yan ng every 15th and 30th, yung iba naman monthly. So, yung nila doon, yung mga deductions doon, yung mga contributions doon, nare-remit din yun on the following month. So, parang bat lang din. Kaya, sila ay current din. So, ano ang journal entry kapag ganito, sa ganitong situation? Ito lang. So, ibig sabihin, kapag may sweldo na, ito yung entry normally sa company. You debit salary expense, and then you credit the following. So, ito yung mga binanggit natin na statutory contributions. You have the withholding tax, and then you have the SSS for private, GSIS naman kung government, pag-ibig, tsaka PhilHealth. Okay. Ngayon, ang tanong mo dito, magkano kaya yung cash? Diba? Well, itong mga to guys, itong lahat ng payable dito, meron yung kanya-kanyang computations. Kumbaga, yung amount na makikita mo dito, yun na yung total taxes to be deducted from all the employees. Same goes with this SSS, Pag-ibig, and PhilHealth. May kanya-kanyang computations yan. Which is, nakabase syempre dito. Nakabase sa gross income nila per month. And then, so yun. Pag nalaman mo na to, itong apat, just get the difference dito. Edi ito yung cash mo. Para lang siyang pang-balance lang yung cash. Pero, hindi yan forced balance. Magbabalance at magbabalance yan. Kahit isa-isahin ba. Dapat. Okay. Just to share lang an experience. Itong payroll, napakadaming trabaho, napakamatrabaho. Pag na-assign ka sa payroll, nako, ang daming trabaho. Balay kang busy. Okay, let's proceed. What's this? Ayun. Itong mga to guys, itong apat na to, these are deducted from the salary of the employees. Okay? Okay, next slide. Dito, ang sinasabi dito, yung employer daw is nagbibigay din siya ng share niya. Kumbaga, itong mga to na binawas sa employees is si employer, meron siyang share na kung magkano yung binawas dito, ganun din yung ibabayad niya. Ibig sabihin, nagiging benefit siya ng employee. For example, sa SSS, binawasan yung ba't ganito? Bakit okay, never mind na lang the entry basta alam naman natin na credit itong tatlong variable. So, halimbawa, sa SSS, binawasan yung employee ng 1.5 for a month. So, si employer, nagbibigay siya ng share niya na another 1.5. So, lumalabas si employee, ang naging SSS contribution niya, 3,000. So, ganun yan. Same goes with Pag-ibig and PhilHealth. Kaya, ang tawag sa kanya, employee benefit. Okay? Yan. So, yan yung story nun. Ngayon, kung hindi nakapag-set up kung hindi nakapag-remit ang corporation or ang company ng mga kanina, kung hindi nakapag-remit, edi syempre, i-accrue nila yung liability, tsaka yung expense. So, kaya meron tayo ditong entry na employee benefit expense, tsaka related payables. Okay? Last slide na to. The amount withheld from the salaries of the employees will be remitted together with the employer's contribution as recorded. Ayan, of course, i-remit na yan. So, kapag i-remit na, edi ganito lang ang entry. So, i-remit, ibig sabihin, babayaran na. Edi, basic lang. Kung ano yung nakakredit mo, ide-debit mo ngayon. And then, babayaran na. Diba? Ganun lang kasimple. Okay, so this marks the end of this video. I don't know if mabilis ako kasi nahabol ko ngayong 15 minutes, pero sana ay meron kayong take away sa video na to. Sana ay makatulong to sa pag-aaral nyo dito sa last topic ng chapter 1. Ayan, thank you.